I spent an entire month farming nothing but Emblem. Emblem of Severed Fate is quite possibly the most universal set in the entire game. With there only being 5 characters total that get nothing from it, it's pretty safe to farm. But it gets even better if we look at the second set in this domain, Shimenawa's Reminiscence, a set that is also widely used. This currently makes the Momiji Dyed Court the most efficient domain to spend your resin in the entirety of Teyvat. But I must warn you, in these invisible walls hides something horrible, something terrible. Something that makes every Genshin player tremble in fear. Bad RNG! At the time this video is up, I have been farming this domain for 2 years. I have done almost 1700 runs of it and spent almost 69,000 resin on just this one tree. And all this time I've been terrorized, mocked, humiliated with the worst artifacts known to man. It's not all been bad though. I've been shown mercy, Zaz, a few times. I've gotten some okay pieces, not all of them bad. Some of them even have 2 crit stats. I may have some weird Stockholm Syndrome-esque relationship with Emblem. But that's a story for my therapist, and maybe the police. You're here to hit that subscribe button and help me find out just how bad and painful this past month has been. As I mentioned earlier, I only spent resin on Emblem. I didn't use fragile resin except for the one in Teapot to make this as fair and free to play as possible, and I kept track of everything. Every day I documented how many runs I did, how many artifacts I got, whether it was an Emblem or Shimenawa's piece. I also decided to count how many double crit pieces I got, as well as all the crit and healing bonus circlets. Most importantly of all, I counted all the completely useless and unredeemable pieces to really see how painful it truly is. But to top it all off, I tracked the rarest, most elusive piece in the entire game. The legendary Electro Goblet. But we all know I'm not getting any of those. So I'm just gonna tell you now, week 1 had more runs than any other week because I was lazy the night prior and didn't use my condensed resin. But in total, week 1 consisted of 46 slightly cheating runs, and in all 46 of those runs I amassed a total of 97 artifacts. 56 of those were Emblem and 41 were Shime. To go deeper, 5 crit and 1 healing bonus circlets were obtained, and of all the 97 total, only a measly 6 had 2 crit stats on them, whereas 46 were completely useless and not even worth considering. And to end off the week, not a single Electro Goblet was obtained. Because week 2 isn't a dirty cheat like that YouTube week 1, we only have 32 runs to analyse. In total, I was given 67 artifacts, 32 were Emblem and 35 were Shimenawa's. Whereas week 1 seemed to favour Emblem, week 2 almost completely evened out the score. Almost every run that I did had 1 Emblem and 1 Shime piece in it, and it was such a weird contrast to the mostly Emblem heavy first week. Overall, I got 2 crit circlets and, funny enough, 2 healing bonus circlets. I also got 2 crit pieces. What's going on here? Okay, week 2's obsession with numbers aside, a staggering 34 artifacts were completely useless this time. And to finish off week 2, as Wait, what? Are you serious? No way. Heads up people, this is not a drill. We have an Electro Goblet in the premises. Stay calm. And oh, it's awful. YouTube. After the very familiar pain of yet another useless Electro Goblet, I set off into week 3 disappointed but happy to know that they still exist. And so throughout the week I did this domain 34 times, netting a total of 76 artifacts. But where week 3 is unique is in its set distribution, because a mind-boggling 47 were Emblem pieces and only 29 were Shimenawa's. Up until now it felt relatively balanced, with me legitimately being surprised that week 1 bore more Emblem pieces than Shime. But week 3 just annihilated that feeling. It made Shimenawa's feel rare in comparison to the overwhelming number of Emblem artifacts. Week 3 also brought along 8 crit circlets, 7 double crit pieces, and a singular lonesome healing bonus circlet. With stacked crit stats like that, surely this was a profitable week, right? 41. 41 of the 76 artifacts were completely useless and beyond redeem. 41. This is the worst ratio we've had so far. In all fairness, this number may be slightly amplified after seeing my 6th ever Electro Goblet and realizing that, unlike some people, I don't need a warehouse full of defense goblets. I just started counting every Def Goblet as useless, as you should. So for those of you at home keeping track, you can pretty much double the current useless artifact counter to make up for the prior 2 weeks. Week 3 on paper seems like it was an insane rollercoaster of many emotions, but it was actually pretty unremarkable. Nothing really happened. Oh my. You've got to be kidding me. 2 whole Electro Goblets in 1 day. I can go literal months without seeing one, and I got 2 in 1 day. And they both had crit on them. This is insane. My wishes are finally being fulfilled. The hunt is over! I'm going to cry. Okay, I'm not actually done talking about week 3. What the hell was that? 2 Electro Goblets in the same day, and both of them rolled horribly? I'm so mad. Okay, I'm done now. Week 4 was weird. Of the 32 runs I did, I snagged myself 34 Emblem pieces and 32 Shimenawa pieces to make a total of 66 artifacts gained this week. Of those 66, 2 of them were crit circlets, 3 of them had 2 crit stats, and in a strange turn of events, a colossal 5 were healing bonus. I don't know if this game is just trying to talk me after giving me 2 Electro Goblets, but this was just so bizarre it almost made me forget the pain of the week prior. At this point, you're probably not going to be surprised by the amount of useless artifacts. 45 of the 66 artifacts are as useless as a paper nail file, and so far this is the most unbalanced ratio, making this statistically the worst week so far. But finally we find ourselves on the last day. I did this during the month of July that has 31 days, so there was always going to be 1 day separate from the rest. On this final day I did 7 runs, gained 14 artifacts, and with a split of 5 to 9 for Shime, I got no double crit pieces, no crit or healing bonus circlets, and to no one's surprise, no Electro Goblets. 10 of the 14 artifacts I gained that day were useless, technically smashing week 4's upsetting record. This past month has had so many ups and downs. Mostly downs, but it sounds better in the script if I also say ups. There were some weird coincidences throughout the entire thing, like the constant reoccurrence of the number 34. Wait. Oh, thank God. But the time has come for the grand total of this month's spoils. Over this past month, across 151 artifact runs, I tallied up 18 double crit pieces, 17 crit circlets, 19 healing bonus circlets, and 3 whole Electro Goblets. 174 artifacts were Emblem and 146 were from the Shimenawa set, creating a grand total of 320 artifacts. But of those 320, 176 were completely useless and not even worth considering. That's 55% of the total haul. I don't have time to show you all the useless pieces, but even the ones with potential were bad. Throughout this entire month, I'm only keeping 3 of the 320, because every other piece either rolled terribly or wasn't even worth giving the time of day. And I'm actually keeping that 3rd Electro Goblet, because that's how desperate I am. I've been used to crummy RNG for a long time, but doing this month and noting it all down has made me realise just how bad the system is. And I really don't think this upgraded Strongbox is going to save it either. Hoyo, please do something before it's too late. Thank you so much for watching and joining me on this journey of RNG hell. Do I recommend you do this as well? No, not in the slightest. Keeping track of everything takes a lot of time and I could have been way more meticulous. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe and stay tuned because I think Fontaine is going to be amazing. But my name is Crazy, and I'll see you next time. See ya.